Coffee with Coach. We're here at Moore CDJR on Highway 96 in Silsbee. I'm here with Coach Smith of the Silsbee Tigers. Welcome, Coach. How are you doing this morning?
Good.
Big win this week with Bridge City. We won 48-14. Kids came out on fire and just played throughout that whole game.
Yeah, we came out and played well. With all the rain and everything that was happening right before the game and having to have the delayed start and all that, I thought we came out focused and ready to roll. So I was proud of our kids and how we handled those conditions.
And it was kind of strange because, there were no bands, there were no cheerleaders, but yet they came out on fire and they were just intense throughout that whole game.
Yeah, we came out ready to go I thank all the people that stayed and were there when it was raining and all that. We had quite a few people that were still in the bleachers, and then the band showed up, and that just gave us more of a boost. And I think all that was great.
Other than that opening drive that Bridge City had, they really had nothing after that. Defense just played lights out.
Yeah, it took us a drive to kind of adjust, and then we had got ourselves in a little bit of a bad field position. But after that, man, we stopped their offense pretty good and played well defensively.
Offensively, this team accumulated 447 yards rushing, 488 total yards. I think that's the most this season so far.
Yes,
great effort by this offense.
Yeah, we played well up front. I mean, we had a pretty good, production from all of our backs. They all ran the ball well. And, in those conditions, just what you got to be able to do. You got to be able to take care of the ball, and you got to be able to run the ball. And I thought we handled the field conditions better than we did the week before in very similar conditions. I thought we handled the ball and did much better, so that was a positive.
Defense, like we talked about a little while ago, allowed 138 yards on this slot T offense and had 2 takeaways, another interception, and fumble recovery. Tell me about that.
I thought we played real good in all the areas. I thought we tackled better. We had some guys step up and play really well. Brady Scoggins came in, stepped up, and played really well. Made a lot of plays. Our linebackers played well. Our D line up front, did a good job. Our secondary made some plays. So I thought we did really well.
Now, offensively, Antonius Arline, 161 yards on 9 carries with 2 touchdowns. His longest was 78, which is early in the game. That was a huge play. Tell me a little bit about him. He's a sophomore, and he's been running, it seems like, better each week.
Yeah, he's starting to get a little more confidence and understand the schemes and stuff, and we're expecting big things out of him. He's doing well.
Then, of course, we had 3 players over 100, which also included Draylon Taylor, 116 yards on 10 carries with 1 touchdown, and Chris Martin with 106 yards on 5 carries with 2 touchdowns. He also had a long of 48. Zion Brown comes off the bench, and he had 49 yards on 7 carries with 1 touchdown. Just pounding the ball at these guys. It seemed like they couldn't stop them at all.
Yeah, all those guys had good games, and they're all capable of running the ball, and they're all good backs, and we got to figure out ways to get them on the field.
Special teams, we talked about all phases of the game. Special teams had a touchdown too, a punt return for a touchdown. That was huge.
Yeah, that was good. Cam returned a punt, and we've really worked on special teams a lot all through fall camp and through these first few weeks, and so that's starting to pay off.
And then like we talked about with the team all around, it just seems like all phases of the game was just on point.
Yeah, like I said, we were excited, and we went over there and played well. We needed that.
With this win, scoring 48 points, and we still had 9 penalties for 100 yards.
One of the things that we want to control is the penalties that we can't control, if that makes sense. We want to eliminate pre-snap penalties. We want to eliminate false starts. We want to eliminate lining up offsides. We want to eliminate all those things, and then we want to do our best to play fundamental football with blocking and keeping your hands inside and eliminate holding penalties and stuff like that. So those are all things that we got to get better at.
Now, for the Silsbee Tigers, how big was this win?
Oh, it was big for our kids. I mean, we needed to win. We've been through, 3 really tough games, and I feel like, in the New England game, we were right there, had a chance to go in, and it was big for our kids, and our kids are excited and ready to roll this week with Lumberton coming in for homecoming.
And you mentioned Nederland, that game was right at their fingertips. Is this a hopeful sign that this team may get over the hump now?
I think so. I mean, I think we're building towards what we're talking about. This whole off season and everything is just playing one game at a time and getting better and building towards our district schedule. So.
And this week, of course, it's homecoming, rekindling that rivalry with Lumberton, which moved down to 4A. They're coming in 2-2. Last week they lost 20-10 to Concordia Lutheran out of Tomball. Their wins were against Houston Fur 54-23 and Kirbyville 42-14. Can you tell me a little bit about these Raiders?
Yeah, I mean Lumberton, they've got they're a big team. They're a big team. They try to be physical up front, and they got a good they got the big tight end kid, and they're going to try to keep the ball away from you. They're going to try to hog the clock and do those things. They're well coached on both sides of the ball, so they're going to be fundamentally sound. And we expect them to be juiced for this game. Coming over here, battle of the creek, battle of the paddle, whatever you want to call it, coming over here to play us, and so I think it'll be an intense game, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Now we've heard Jace Bridges, quarterback, was hurt. There's rumors that he's expected to play in this game. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I mean we don't know. We're not sure. I've heard all sorts of things with that. So we're just going to play the guys they put out there.
And defensively, they've got defensive lineman Mason Williams and linebacker Zamian Hooks that are supposed to be pretty well coached athletes there.
Yeah, they've got a couple defensive linemen that are pretty good. They've made a lot of plays, and their linebackers are solid. So it's going to be a challenge for us. We're going to have to get in there and play, and it's all about blocking and tackling. And we're going to have to be physical up front, win the battle up front.
There's a lot of things that come with homecoming that are distractions to the team. How do you coach and talk to your team about that?
Well, we talk to about them every day. I mean, don't get caught up in all that stuff. That's all. We want to the kids to have fun and be involved in each day. That homecoming has a theme and be involved in all those things, and the bonfire and the pep rallies and the parade and all. That's all. I want them to be a kid and be involved in that. But at the same time, we have one job, and that's to go out and play the football game and to go out and win the football game. And so ultimately, that's where our focus needs to be.
Freshman JV play at Lumberton tonight.
Yeah, freshman JV play at Lumberton. Our JV is won last week as well. They beat Bridge City 22-14, and so they're sitting at 3-1. And we're still trying to get our freshmen their first win of the season. And so, those kids continue to get better, and so I'm proud of those kids for how hard they work, and we're looking forward to them going out tonight and playing well.
Friday night, Tiger Stadium. It's homecoming. Kickoff at 7:30. We're expecting a capacity crowd, so if you plan on going to the game, better get there early because it's limited seating probably available. Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.